This is Insiders, and it has got a sticker up top saying 40p. This issue, it says the team fight those really crappy supervillains who featured for 2 pages in a Superman comic I reviewed. This is issue 33 by Mike Barr and David Allens. And we have the team all up front on the cover. They are Geodude, Black Light Man, Samurai Lassie, Julie Power, Dazzler. And then up top we have Albino Man. He is the flagpole. The Insiders are a team I didn't really care about. I like Albino Man. Geodude, I tend to have some patience for. But the rest I forget about very quickly. I just didn't think this is a great team or a team lineup. Insiders, it's got that Champions feel. It feels like a team made up of characters that weren't in other books that DC wanted to keep in play, like Black Light Man. His solo series failed, so pop him on the Insiders. Albino Man, he had been around since the 60s. He's not had any vehicle for a while. Let's pop him on the Insiders. And even though it does feel like a dumping ground for out-of-work characters, the majority of the team were created specifically to star in this book. Geodude, Julie Power, Samurai Lassie, they were all introduced in the first appearance of the Insiders. And it still feels like this is a team that exists to keep some extra characters out there and actively starring in summit. This team were originally brought together by Batman. Batman had a falling out with the Justice League, so he formed his own team. But by this point, Batman was gone, and the team continued on without him. Right now, they are going to Geodude's fictional home country, where they are not greeted with open arms. Instead, they are greeted with a different type of arms. They are greeted with guns and shit is what I'm trying to say. That type of arms. Because you say Geodude's fictional country, it has an archaic monarchy that is very prone to exploitation, coups, and dictatorship. Are there any fictional countries that have a stable, non-criminal government? Dazzler, she is hot though. She is not a part of the team right now, or maybe yet. I didn't know when she was introduced, but she is hot. I would bonk her. But in the 90s, she becomes a Dracula, and I would not bonk a Dracula, because Dracula scare me and make my cock shaft shrivel right up. Dazzler, very hot though. We have this bad guy, he is called Baron, oh Baron, he is trying to seize control of Geodude's country, and he is the most exciting bad guy in this. Here are the utter losers we have to contend with. I usually defend comic book bad guys, like the ones that everyone says are silly and stupid. My stance is that very few characters are automatically lame, and all it takes is one writer to take them seriously and to show that they aren't just some idiot on stilts. What I consider to be poor enemies is stuff like this. Unimaginative teams where it's just, oh, there is a fire one. Oh, there is an ice one. It's like barely any thought went into them, and they are padding out a team with predictable elements. Personality-wise, they either have none, or what they have isn't unique. We get to see some showdowns between them and the Insiders, one-on-one fights, and that is a step in the right direction. But the problem is that these are too bland and uncreative as characters to really stand up to actually giving them page time. This one that is fighting Julie Power, she has the most in terms of characterization. She doesn't really want to be there. But the rest of them are just generic copy and paste bad guys. I didn't think there is much another writer could really do to improve these, shy of totally overhauling them, because they are bland. Do we really need another ice-based baddie? Do we really need another fire-based baddie? They would need to have exorbitant character arcs to justify them. This isn't a... I'm not saying this is a bad comic, just that it has really boring and crappy bad guys. The art is great, the action is good enough. Dazzler, she is art. She flies off to go and join the rest of the team in action. And Baron, oh Baron, his evil plan is to, and this is great, this is as inspired as those bad guys are. They are going to resurrect Hitler. Sir Adolf Hitler, the vegetarian artist. Adolf Hitler, the progressive lefty who killed over 6 million people. They're going to resurrect Hitler. I'll give the comic this. When it comes to baddies, Hitler is a step up from the lousy ones we spent this issue with. This comic is... This is actually worth the 40p it says on the sticker. That is the exact price I would put on it. Not a penny more. Its plot and characters are bog standard, but the artwork is crisp and clean. It's not a displeasurable experience to read, but it's also not really a good comic. 7 thumbs up.